Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for logging on. Appreciate y'all watching another one of my videos. And I wanted to talk to you about a watch that I've had for a while now, and kind of like a 1 year in review kind of thing. And it's this watch I'm wearing on my wrist today. This, of course, is the Cartier, the Santos de Cartier in the large size. And this is actually the blue dial. So I did a video a while back with the white dial large version. And that was a bracelet model, and that's a really cool watch. You know, the quick change straps and the quick adjust bracelet make this a very easy watch to own and a really easy, fun watch to wear. But you know, one of the criticisms I had about the watch then, and certainly a constant criticism of the watch since, has been, you know, the shiny surfaces of the watch, the large, flat, shiny steel areas, and how prone they are to scratches. And, you know, I mean, I've lived with this watch for a while. You know, the blue is kind of the version I settled on, and let me start with that. I like the white dial version of the watch. Certainly it's classic. I mean, that's classic Cartier. But I don't know, for me, it seems like I gravitate, number one, towards dark colored watches, dark dials, whether that's black or blue or whatever. You know, not to say that there aren't great white dialed watches. For example, I had that white dialed Seamaster Professional. That was a cool watch by Omega. But I don't know, generally speaking, I would say the majority of my collection is dark colored dials. And for some reason, I find them more aesthetically pleasing, at least on my wrist and whenever I look down. So for that reason, I kind of, while I really like the white dial Cartier Santos, it just didn't last very long in my collection. You know, another thing about that specific watch is that the numerals are printed on the dial, very high quality dial, really good, just classic white, black dial. But it kind of has like a flat appearance on the wrist, in my humble opinion. So it was a great watch, beautiful watch, but especially in that large size, it's sort of kind of like a large expanse of white with just a couple of thinly printed numerals. It just didn't have that three-dimensional quality. And so, you know, I really liked the watch. I thought it was super cool. I really enjoyed wearing it. But I think like a lot of people, I didn't really, I don't know, I didn't really love it. Not because it wasn't a perfect watch, but more for just worried about scratching it, nicking it, and not just being absolutely in love with the dial. And so, you know, time goes on, and then Cartier releases this watch, and this is the blue version of the Santos. And to me, whenever I saw this watch, I was like, oh man, that's a really nice blue dial. It's dark, but it also has a couple of other interesting features that kind of differentiate it a little bit from the white dial. You know, for example, you know, you can see the hands are thick, which makes legibility really easy. Obviously, legibility is very good on the white dial versions of these watches too. But, you know, the numerals, you know, you've got those classic Roman numerals, but they're applied. And the blue color is just a really, really, really dark blue. So it's not like one of these shiny kind of electric blues. It's like a very dark, dusky blue. And, you know, for me, that was a winner, and that's the version I ended up settling on, and I've owned it for a while, about a year now, and I've really enjoyed the heck out of it, and I use it more or less as a daily driver. You know, for me, a daily driver is a watch I wear twice a week, or I'll put on you know what I mean, after work or for work. And so, you know, I have a lot of watches, obviously, so they rotate pretty frequently. But I thought it would be interesting for you all to see kind of how one of these Santos watches with just kind of regular, everyday use hold up over time. And, you know, the answer is they hold up really well. You know, certainly the watch that I have has, you know, a couple of little nicks, a couple of scratches, swirls. That's expected, especially when you have this large expanse of polished stainless steel, especially on such a flat watch. But, you know, it adds a lot of character, and the watch wears those scars well. I'm kind of doing this video in reverse. You know, most of my videos, I'll give you a close-up of the watch, and then I'll put it on my wrist. But I thought it would be interesting for me to go over some of the reasons why I really like the blue dial version of this watch, and so talk about that in a general sense, and then show you the watch up close with all of its nicks and scratches and scars over the last year. So originally the blue dial came out in just the large version, but they also have a medium version. And in fact, Cartier put out this really gorgeous green dialed version of this watch. And so, all respect, I mean, Cartier deserves their flowers. They make classic watches, and this brand is just like doing everything right, it seems. This is a great watch. Prices have been pretty steady on these, which I think speaks to how popular they are and how respected the brand has become amongst people that aren't just kind of like casual observers, but also people that are really like watch people. It's got a manufactured movement. One ding on the watch, I will say, especially for someone like me who owns a lot of watches and has to rotate a lot, power reserve on the movement isn't great, but it's really good. I mean, it's really good. Let me take it off my wrist. Like I said, the video is kind of in reverse today. I'll take it off my wrist and we'll look at it up close so you can kind of see the battle scars it's gotten over the last year. Give me a second, okay? So here's the watch up close before I take it off. And one thing I want you to notice is that, the large version is certainly significantly larger than the small, and it's got a significant diameter, so 40 millimeters, but a 40 millimeter square is going to be much larger than a 40 millimeter diameter circular watch. But wearing this watch on the wrist, especially with a strap, you can really see how wearing it on a strap really kind of reduces the size of the watch. And the reason for that, obviously, is because this watch in stainless steel on the bracelet, it's a large quantity of stainless steel on your wrist. So everything is stainless steel and it just makes the watch look that much bigger. But if you wear it on a strap, you can see that at least visually, the strap really cuts down on the case size of the watch. I've got it on a really attractive canvas strap. In navy blue, and I think it really helps with the sporty nature of the watch. And just looking at it at arm's length, you can see that the watch is just kind of honestly held up really well. I love the blue dial. I really think that this is a great version of the watch. In all honesty, all the versions are great, in large and medium, whatever your dial color you like. I like the blue, It's got the loomed hands, which makes legibility easy. And you can see just that reflective nature of that blue dial, just really beautiful, but a very dark blue. It's kind of like dark at the periphery, and then as you get to the inside, you can see a little bit more of that bluish color. So it's almost like a blackish blue on the outside, and on the inside, it's kind of navy. You can see the date there at 6 o'clock. And again, I love how Cartier has integrated the date at 6 o'clock, and it's like I say about this watch, it's there when you want it to be and not there when you don't. Honestly, the inclusion of a date complication is a big reason why I prefer the large over the medium. For me, watches are important in my day-to-day work, and so to have the date at an easy glance is something that I have found is generally pretty important to me. Let me take it off the wrist, and we'll zoom in and just take a look at some of those scars. Okay, so I'm just going to take it off this strap. Really nice, high quality canvas strap. This is not a Cartier strap, actually. This is an aftermarket strap from a really nice a brand overseas, and just really good quality. You can see that the attachments here, so Cartier did such a good job with that. But yeah, I mean, looking at this watch, you can kind of see, look at the scars, see the nicks and cuts on this watch. It's just hard to keep it free of scratches and little swirls and everything. And so I think this is probably, look at that blue as it just radiates. Just a beautiful watch overall. It's hard, it's hard to keep it completely free of scratches and nicks. And so this is kind of the way the watch, as you see the reflection of the light, you can see some of those nicks there. This is how the watch is going to look after a year of kind of like careful, regular wear, I would say, almost daily wear. But, for me, daily wear means I may go to work with a Panerai on, and then when I get home, I'll switch out to this Cartier or vice versa. It just depends on kind of like what my mood is. And I would wager that a lot of people that have multiple watches, and maybe a lot of people that watch my videos, kind of are in a similar situation. Again, as a reminder, this is not a screw down crown. It's kind of a pull push crown. But the watch still has 100 meters of water resistance. And as another reminder, remember on this watch,
it's not something that disappoints me, but it's something that you should be aware of. The watch is very thin, but see how the crown sits a little bit lower than you would expect it to, and that's typical of this watch, just due to the movement. But yeah, I love the watch. I think it is really well made. I think it really contours just really well to the wrist. And if you're someone with a smaller wrist and you kind of like the look of the large, but think, oh man, I can't pull it off. Think about the large with a strap, especially like a sporty strap like this, this simple canvas strap that can really help the wearing experience, and really, you know, it doesn't change the size of the watch obviously, but visually decreases the size, because you just don't have like that large mass of stainless steel on the wrist. But yeah, I honestly can tell you that there's nothing I dislike about the watch in any way. I think it's probably the best money you can spend on a Swiss watch. You know, at around the $5,000, $6,000, $7 price is one of these Cartier Santos watches. It's such a great brand. They've done such a good job on it. The recognizability and the style of the watch is just so good, and the ability to easily change out straps, whether you like the bracelet or a strap, really lets you quickly and easily make the watch kind of like, you know, your own thing. And I think that's important. And I think Cartier is really kind of like leading the way with that. You know, it used to be like a Panerai thing to like switch out straps, but it's so cool to be able to do that with just like a Cartier also. So yeah, there you see it. That's the Santos large on my wrist after a year of wear and tear. Just a really cool watch, 100-meter water resistant. You know, I could put this on a rubber strap and I could get in the pool with it, and that's just amazing to me. I mean, the practicality of this watch, I think, makes it very versatile, and in a weird way, it makes it very affordable how versatile it is. It's a dress watch, it's a sport watch, it can be on a bracelet, it can be on a strap, it can be whatever you want it to be. And the cool thing is Cartier is releasing a bunch of dials. I'm sure they'll bring out a bunch more to where you can just get the model you want. I mean, they have a PVD case, they have a gold case, they have two-tone cases. I mean, who knows what the future holds for this line of watches, but clearly it's been a home run for Cartier, and it's a watch that I've enjoyed owning, and I'm gonna probably continue to enjoy owning. I mean, I just can't, it's hard for me to imagine a better watch at this price, and believe me when I say I own a lot of watches. I think it's a direct competitor to like my Rolex Datejust 41. I think it's a direct competitor to Omega's Aquaterra line. I think it holds its own against both of those daily wear options. Anyway, I'm rambling as always. I hope you like this quick look at kind of like another version of the Cartier Santos, but maybe a redux of the review I had done quite a while ago now, actually, of that white dial watch. And again, I love the white dial, so, you know, white dial fam, you know, I hear what you're saying. I love that watch. That's always going to be the classic. But for me, I think the blue or these color dials offer a little bit something different, if that's what you're into, you know what I mean? And for someone like me in like my collection, and for someone that kind of prefers darker colored dials, this kind of exudes a more youthful, sporty, energetic vibe with kind of like a little bit more shine, but not a lot more shine. Okay, guys, sorry, I'm rambling. I hope you like this quick look at a watch that I wear all the time, and I have worn all the time over the past year. This is the Cartier Santos. Do not be scared of getting this watch if your worry is that, oh, it's going to get scratched up, or, oh, it's going to get dinged. Yeah, it is going to get scratched up and it is going to get dinged, but you know, all of those marks are kind of like your personal signature on the watch, and it's not a reason to not enjoy the heck out of it. I mean, on the contrary, it's like white tennis shoes. They look so much cooler with some wear and tear and scuffs, and just like that, your Cartier Santos is going to look so much cooler if you have some honest wear and tear on it. Guys, God bless, take care, hope everybody is doing well, staying cool, and look forward to make some more content for y'all real soon. Okay, guys, bye.